listening to She Speaks Talk Radio, where women's words are changing the world.
Welcome to the Mind Your Business show with me, your host, Tierra Womack, where we talk about finding balance between your life and your soul-led business, sharing the secrets of successful female entrepreneurs who are building wealth from the inside out, combining mindset and business strategies to create success on their terms. Hello, my MYB family. I'm so excited to be back. I'm even more excited for the guest that I have on the show today. And I want to introduce Chianté Jones. She is, I know you can't see her, but she's gorgeous. She's glowing. She's a financial coach and the founder of Dollars and Change. As a certified personal and executive coach, Chiante works with ambitious professional women who are ready to confidently manage their money and execute a realistic plan to eliminate debt. So I love that. Confidently manage money and have a realistic plan, okay? Through personalized coaching, she provides education, guidance, and accountability to have these women have more fun and fulfillment while still creating a solid financial foundation to build wealth. So welcome to the show, Chiante.
Hi, Tierra. Glad to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited about this conversation. You know, if it's about money, it's about sense, like it makes sense. And, you know, money is a passion of both of ours. And, you know, but I love your angle in approaching money because it's about the tangibles. It's like, I feel as though I'm more on that mindset side within the human design and all those other aspects. But it's like, okay, so once you have that information, or as you're gaining that information, how do you actually apply it in your life? And then here you go with these amazing approaches to money management. So right off the bat, you know, I know we kind of discussed it before we started doing the show this evening, but I am high-fiving this beauty because this powerhouse, she managed to accumulate and build $1 million net worth debt-free. Let me repeat that. $1 million net worth, okay, debt-free. So please share with us what that journey was like, because honestly, it's one thing to have a net worth, a seven-figure net worth, versus just accumulating seven figures. And then on top of that, debt-free. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so consumer debt-free. And it was last year actually that I hit the seven-figure net worth, like over seven-figure net worth was kind of a surprise to me. And this is what I want to emphasize, that if you have consistent money habits, healthy money habits, like you will get there regardless. Like it's just from over time, your net worth will grow if you practice those healthy habits. So for me, it was just, as far as debt, and I'm not, you know, I know some financial professionals are like totally against debt, and I don't necessarily have that stance, because I think there are sometimes, if you use it responsibly, where you can leverage it, or, you know, it works in your favor. But for me, I didn't want to have debt to limit me and like limit my options. So I was always very careful about what debt I took on and paying it off as quickly as possible. So consumer debt, the only debt I have now is a mortgage on my primary residence. And, you know, I'm fine with that. You know, a lot of times that's strategic, or whether you want to pay that off or not. And it was just a journey over time of, you know, as I got debt or things come up, first I would try to minimize how much I had to take out to begin with, and then having a plan in place to get it paid off as soon as possible if it was that I, you know, wasn't trying to strategically carry. And like I said, as far as the building the net worth, that again, time isn't on your side when you're able to just consistently invest and allow your net worth to grow. And then also the flip side of that is keeping your debt down and managing it responsibly.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Like, I love all of that. And can you share with us a little bit about how the different means, or what type of investments you had to accumulate that seven-figure net worth?
Yeah, so, and I know people probably want to hear like a sexy story about how I, you know, did all this in real estate and all that kind of, I didn't. It was just really investing in the market. And a lot of it was just like I said, consistent investing through, retirement accounts and then, taxable accounts. It was really all of that is primarily in the, just investing in, index funds, and mutual funds. And then also a part of my net worth is our primary residence, which, having a good loan to value there, of not having a good amount of equity in that. So between those two, that's really it. We have had real estate in the past and didn't want to do the landlord thing at that time anymore. So decided to get rid of that. And, was able to take some of those proceeds and invest them into our current house and also into the market, and just have allowed it to grow over time.
I'm sorry, that's very sexy. So like I'm sitting here.
Simple is sexy.
No, listen, net worth is sexy. When because the thing is, I literally just wrote in my blog last week about 7 figures and living check to check. I know so many entrepreneurs who are after overhead. Yes, they have a 7-figure, maybe even a multi 7-figure business, even just, 6 figures, high 6 figures, but they're bringing home less personally than they did when they were working, 9 to 5. So understand that. Like when you talk about this net worth, whether it's through these, traditionally non-sexy types of investments, all of that is very orgasmic to me. It's like, that's what, I always talk about orgasmic success, when it's like, wow, what I did, investing and just trying out different things, has led me to this point. And so again, kudos to you. And that leads me into, because even listening to you and the index and the this and the that, I mean, these conversations are not very common, right? I'm sure there are listeners who are like me that are like, okay, like I may have heard of these, but I don't really even know what these types of funds are. And again, this is coming from someone who's also generated 7 figures in my businesses, but I still was not hearing these conversations around various funds and everything. So you have this approach to money that feels very safe and very approachable at that. So talk to me about that. Like, was it something that you cultivated over time because you saw like a need for this type of approach, or just something that you've naturally carried?
So I actually just naturally carried it. So, growing up, I can even think back to like being a teenager, having my little money that I would manage, and growing up with a single mom. I think part of that was not wanting to be any additional burden on hers, but also I think it was just a natural skill that I had to be, intentional more and more mindful of my money. And at the time, not really paying much attention to that. A lot of times when we do things naturally, we just kind of discount them and think that everybody else does it the same way. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized that a lot of people actually struggle with money, and something that was natural for me, like a natural gift for me, it wasn't, it was a pain point for a lot of other people. And so, my background, education, work experience is in the banking and finance industry. And coming out of school, I didn't want to be like an investment banker or do like stocks and investment. I'm like a lazy investor, y'all, but I didn't want to do like stocks and investments and those type of things. I always like more of the kind of day-to-day money management, the fundamentals. And but at the time didn't know what it was. And so when I discovered financial coaching, I knew immediately that was a way for me to be able to really use my skills and what I was really good at to help other people, to set them free, who typically are struggling with just the basics, before they can even get to the investing part. So that's what led me to, become a financial coach and be able to support people, particularly women, in that way.
Mm-hmm. And then women of color too, because again, these conversations around wealth accumulation, so often in the minority community, it is getting the bag, but not even understanding how you're getting the bag, not understanding that you really can't afford that bag, not understanding how to, right? Not understanding how to get the bag that actually will net a return or something in that capacity in the future. So I just love it. Now, you also really work on, yes, like this approach to money, but what I love is this values-based money plan that, we've spoken about before, that really is at the crux of your financial coaching and simplifying money management. So what does this values-based money plan look like? Because I'm all about those values. I love this.
Yeah, so a money plan is is my terminology for a budget, essentially, right? It's like a little bit,
I like yours
sexier.
better. See, that's sexy. Money plan, money
Well, because
plan.
it really is like, budget, people tend to think of restriction and everything, but really what a budget is just a plan for your money. That's it in the simplest form. So what I do with my clients is, when it comes to like spending, the media, social media, marketing, companies marketing, they will tell you what to spend your money on, right? So a lot of times we, are heavily influenced about what we spend our money on. We try to keep up with the Joneses, which I tell my husband, we are the Joneses. We don't have to keep up. Right? That's kind of our philosophy here at home. But the value space is really get into what is most important to you. So I really work with my clients to like peel that back to like question everything. Like, what is it that you really want? What is it that is really most important to you? And then we develop a plan that aligns their spending, intentional spending, with what is really most important to them. And my clients have told me that one of the biggest shifts that they have from working together, yes, they learn the practical, technical skills of money management, but like the biggest shift they have is typically in their mindset and things that were important to them and they spent their money on at one point. Like by the time, like who they become in that process and what they're able to see, once they're able to see what they're capable of doing with their money and the possibilities, like a lot of that stuff is no longer important anymore. And they really have honed in on what they value the most and what they want to spend their time doing, putting their money to that, the people, the places they want to go. That's value-based spending. And so that's what I work with my clients to create a plan to allow them to do that.
Oh, I love all of that. And then you're speaking my language with this alignment. So I had the absolute pleasure of doing a human design reading for business and things of that nature with Chiante. And so we're actually going to be talking about that on the Wealthy Woman by Design TV show. She's going to be a guest on there and talking and diving more into how that application of human design and that new understanding ties into various aspects of her business now, which ultimately ties into the money. And you talk about that alignment piece. I mean, that ultimately, it's not just the information, it's like you're aligning these clients with this money plan that's values-based, that really helps them get back to the foundation of what's important versus what they thought was important. And I mean, that's like mind-blowing to me. So I absolutely love that. And too, like when you talk about the mindset of it all with the money mindset, with us being the Mind Your Business show, we do focus not just on our businesses, but also our mindset. And, like my clients that deal with that shame kind of around money sabotage. So what would you say is the number one mindset block you see with your clients that they're facing when it comes to like even starting out on that money plan and money management, and how do you help them shift that?
Yeah. So one thing I have seen quite often is a lot of times we think, oh, I just want to make more money. And but you have to be, your mindset has to be in a place where you can actually receive more money, right? So a lot of times we don't think about that. We just think I'll make more money, make more money. But if you're not in a place where you're actually able to receive it, you will do things to behaviors to sabotage that and to get rid of that money as fast as possible. So one thing is, and some of that is tied to worth, like feeling worthy of having that money. And a lot of times we don't even know those limiting beliefs that we're holding in, like those subconscious and unconscious feelings about money. But that is sometimes what I see come up, is just being able to receive it and being okay with making more money. This is actually something that I personally have had to, work through too, as, increased levels of money. Well, and being able to make money in different ways. It's one thing for me was making money through my, 9-to-5 job versus creating money in your business. And that could feel different sometimes. Just being able to receive abundance in different ways.
Yeah, no, me too. I always say that confidence gets you the money, but you have to feel worthy to keep the money or you will self-sabotage it. And that comes from my own experience. I have like a doctorate in money sabotage. And so just learn, like, I kid you not, I promise you, like my coaching comes from personal experience and the things that I tried a lot, but the things that I know worked in regards to shifting out of that money sabotage. So I love that you touch on that. Now, moving a bit more into the mindset portion of minding your business, I like to ask my guests a few questions that are rapid fire.
Okay.
So very fun, very fun. So just, first thing that comes to mind. So again, as someone who helps clients shift their mindset around money, what is the one limiting belief around money that you've been surprised to experience at this level of success? So just one limiting belief that you're like, whoa, like, what are you still doing here at these levels of success? And then what's one mindset technique or shift to get out of that limiting belief for you?
Yeah. So one thing that I've encountered, well, and like again, didn't even know it was there for a long time, was just this, sometimes this scarcity mindset will pop up, meaning that coming from a place of there not being enough. And this is something I definitely encountered, when I did leave my 9 to 5 and going into a place where, you didn't have that steady paycheck coming in anymore. And just, even though that was the plan, right, to create the runway, but still feeling a sense of scarcity and anxiety about, not having enough money. And one way I shift out of that is to remind myself, like literally remind myself that you have everything you need. You have enough, right? And so like just literally shifting my thoughts to remind myself that nothing's gone wrong. This is the plan. You have everything you need.
Oh, you have everything you need. I love that. All right. So who's inspiring you right now?
So I don't know. She's actually a life coach. Well, she's a sales coach for life coaches, and her name is Stacey Bayman, and I'm part of one of her programs. And just one of the reasons why I joined her program was really for the thought work, even like what I was just saying, like changing my thoughts about things. And it's just listening to her and how she shares her different thoughts and perspectives on things has really been helpful for me. And so it's really inspiring me to, do that work on myself. So I would say she's inspiring me right now.
I love it. Now, what's the best advice you've ever received?
Let's see, the best advice. All right, it's always hard for me to pick like absolutes the best, but I will say a very good piece of advice that I've received and I'm still working to apply is to trust my own tuition and be myself, right? Like that, like, nobody can do that better than me. And to show up that way in my business, to, drop all the conditioning, peel back all the layers, and then to show up in my truest form, as my most authentic self is kind of the best advice that I've been told. And I'm working on continuing to apply that.
Listen, now I love that answer because we just talked about your human design and
I know
all of that, like trusting that you literally have that birthright of prosperity and success, making that scary, brave leap from 9 to 5 corporate into what you're doing now. It's like the success is inevitable. So, well, what's the best way for the MYB family to contact you and stay in touch?
Yes, I would love to connect, love for you to connect with me on social. You can follow me on Instagram at Dollars and Change Coach, also on Facebook at Dollars and Change Coach. And you can visit my website, www.dollarsandchange.com to find out more about me and my business and to get some free resources.
Yay, love it, love it, love it. Well, for those listening in today, your takeaway is to ask yourself, where are you holding fear around a money plan for yourself, any debt? And again, please, I always say every episode, send those takeaways to me. I read them all, every single one. When I get really good nuggets, I send those to the guests if I have them on the show. You can send them to me via DM at The Brave Way on Instagram, via email, hi at thebravewaytribe.com. On LinkedIn, Tierra Womack MBA, anywhere where you can connect. So I just want to thank you so much, Chiante. And for those of you who tuned in today, if you've enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend or three so we can spread the value, spread the love. And if you are looking for support in shifting your money mindset, learning your human design for money, for business, to become more fulfilled and aligned, removing those money blocks, or need to find more free time on your calendar, please reach out to me. Let's have a chat. Again, DM at The Brave Way on Instagram, email hi at thebravewaytribe.com. Keep your head in the game. Remember that you deserve alignment, success, time, freedom, balance in your life and business, and ask yourself, how am I minding my business today? Thank you so much, Chiante. This has been such a fun conversation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Tierra.
Yes, and everyone listening, be well, be wealthy, and I will talk to you soon.